Robert Craig, just an old man reading from his Bible. I'm the old man, and here's my Bible, the Holy Bible. That's the one I'm going to be reading from. It's a King James Version. Now, the last time we left off, we had come to the part where Moses had returned to Egypt to free the people. He was sent by Jehovah God. And we're going to find that this number 120 in segments of 40, there's 120 years involved here in Moses' life. He spent the first 40 as a prince of Egypt, the second 40 as a shepherd, and then he returns to Egypt and frees the people, spends another 40 years with them. So I think there's a pattern here. It's like the first three kings of Israel. You had Saul and David and Solomon. It's regarded by the Jews as kind of the golden age of Israel. Three kings that ruled 40 years each, and the nation came from, well, almost nothing to a very powerful nation in that day and time. I want to hit on this highlight. When the Egyptians had finally turned them loose, they had had their first Passover. Yeah, you know what? We ought to hit on the Passover. Chapter 12, and the Lord spake unto Moses and Aaron in the land of Egypt, saying, This month shall be unto you the beginning of months. Their calendar was instituted for the nation. It shall be the first month of the year to you. Speak ye unto all the congregation of Israel, saying, In the 10th day of this month they shall take to them every man a lamb, according to the house of their fathers, a lamb for an house. And if the household be too little for the lamb, let him and his neighbor next to him take it according to the number of souls. Every man according to his eating shall make your count for the lamb. And the lamb shall be without blemish, a male of the first year. That's the institution of the ordinance of the Passover. And let's see. There we go. He says, And thus shall ye eat it with your loins girded and shoes on your feet and your staff in your hand. That's verse 11. Ye shall eat it in haste. It is the Lord's Passover. Verse 12, For I will pass through the land of Egypt this night, and will smite the firstborn in the land of Egypt, both man and beast. And against all the gods of Egypt will I execute judgment. I am the Lord. And the blood shall be to you for a token upon the houses where ye are. And when I see the blood, I will pass over you, and the plague shall not be upon you to destroy you when I smite the land of Egypt. And this day shall be unto you a memorial, and ye shall keep it a feast of the Lord throughout your generations. Ye shall keep it a feast by an ordinance forever. And so their feast days, they get the kind of the layout of those most three important feast days there. And ye shall take this is verse 22. Verse 21. Moses called for all the elders of Israel and said unto them, Draw out and take you a lamb according to your families, and kill the Passover, and ye shall take a bunch of hyssop and dip it in the blood that is in the basin. So the blood's collected in a bowl, and the hyssop is used kind of as a paintbrush, and strike the lintel, that's the top beam of the door, and the two side posts with the blood that is in the basin. And none of you shall go out at the door of his house until the morning. As you would strike the doorposts at about maybe shoulder height, let's say, and then you'd strike the lintel, the blood at the lintel would drip straight down to the foot of the door. So, in a sense, you had the cross drawn in blood there at the first Passover. So, after the firstborn of Egypt dies, they're let go by Pharaoh. And then Pharaoh has second thoughts, and he sends his army after them. And let's see, here in chapter 14, and the Lord said unto Moses, this is chapter 14, verse 15, and the Lord said unto Moses, wherefore criest thou unto me? Speak unto the children of Israel that they go forward, but lift thou up thy rod and stretch out thine hand over the sea and divide it, and the children of Israel shall go on dry ground through the midst of the sea. Now, what he's reassuring the people about is that the Egyptians have pursued them and have caught up with them. But the Lord provides them a protection overnight. It takes, I think it takes overnight to dry up this pathway across the sea. Verse 17, and I, behold, I will harden the hearts of the Egyptians, and they shall follow them, and I will get me honor upon Pharaoh and upon all his host and upon his chariots and upon his horsemen. And the Egyptians shall know that I am the Lord, when I have gotten me honor upon Pharaoh and upon his chariots and upon his horsemen. And the angel of God, which went before the camp of Israel, removed and went behind them, and the pillar of the cloud went from before their face and stood behind them. So there's a barrier between the pursuing Egyptians and the people. And it came between the camp of the Egyptians and the camp of Israel. Now this is the peculiar thing about this particular cloud. In one direction, it casts out light. In the other direction, it casts out darkness. This is a very peculiar thing. Verse 20, and it came between the camp of the Egyptians and the camp of Israel, and it was a cloud and darkness to them, but it gave light by night to these, so that the one came not near the other all the night. And Moses stretched out his hand over the sea, and the Lord caused the sea to go back by a strong east wind all that night. So unlike the movie portrayals, it took like a night of wind to cause this to happen, and made the sea dry land, and the waters were divided. And the children of Israel went into the midst of the sea upon the dry ground, and the waters were a wall unto them on their right hand and on their left. And it came to pass that in the morning watch, the Lord looked unto the host of the Egyptians through the pillar of fire and of the cloud, and troubled the host of the Egyptians. See, they're pursuing them. As the people go across, the pillar of cloud is guarding the way behind them. And the Lord looks through and can see that the Egyptians are trying to follow. They're coming as close as they can. And the Egyptians pursued and went in after them in the midst of the sea. And that's how the Lord troubles them, because they're down here in this place between two walls of water. They figure, well, if they can do it, we can do it. And it came to pass that in the morning watch, the Lord looked upon the host of the Egyptians through the pillar of fire and cloud, and troubled the host of the Egyptians, and took off their chariot wheels, that they drave them heavily, so that the Egyptians said, let us flee from the face of Israel, for the Lord fighteth for them against the Egyptians. And the Lord said unto Moses, stretch out thine hand over the sea, that the waters may come again unto the Egyptians upon their chariots and their horsemen. And Moses stretched forth his hand over the sea, and the sea returned to his strength when the morning appeared, and the Egyptians fled against it. And the Lord overthrew the Egyptians in the midst of the sea, and the waters returned and covered the chariots and the horsemen, and all the host of Pharaoh that came into the sea after them, and there remained not so much as one of them. But the children of Israel walked upon dry land in the midst of the sea, and the waters were a wall unto them on their right hand and on their left. Thus the Lord saved Israel that day out of the hand of the Egyptians. And Israel saw the Egyptians dead upon the seashore. In other words, dead bodies are just floating up on that east side of the Red Sea. And Israel saw that the great work which the Lord did upon the Egyptians and the people. I didn't read that right. Something wrong with that grammar. And Israel saw that great work which the Lord did upon the Egyptians. And the people feared the Lord and believed the Lord and his servant Moses. Something Paul said later on kind of tickles the back of my mind. In the first chapter of 1 Corinthians, he describes the typical mindset of the Jew. He said, for the Jews require a sign, and the Greeks seek after wisdom. But that just, I don't know where that came from, but this seems to have been kind of second nature for Israel. They see these signs, and once they see the sign, they're ready to believe. But it really doesn't have that much to do with faith, because faith is something different than that entirely. And chapter 15 begins with, then sang Moses and the children of Israel this song unto the Lord, for he hath triumphed gloriously, the horse and his rider hath he thrown into the sea. The Lord is my strength and song, and he is become my salvation. He is my God, and I will prepare him an habitation, my father's God, and I will exalt him. The Lord is a man of war, the Lord is his name. Pharaoh's chariots and his host hath he cast into the sea. His chosen captains also are drowned in the Red Sea. The depths have covered them. They sank unto the bottom as a stone. The depths have covered them. Oh, I read that. Thy right hand, O Lord, is become glorious in power. Thy right hand, O Lord, hath dashed in pieces the enemy, and the greatness of thine excellency, and in the greatness of thine excellency thou hast overthrown them that rose up against thee. Thou sentest forth thy wrath, which consumed them as stubble, and with the blast of thy nostrils the waters were gathered together. The floods stood upright as an heap, and the depths were congealed in the heart of the sea. And with the blast of thy, no, wait a minute. And the enemy said, I will pursue, I will overtake, I will divide the spoil. My lust shall be satisfied upon them. I will draw my sword, my hand shall destroy them. Thou didst blow with thy wind, the sea covered them, they sank as lead in the mighty waters. Who is like unto thee, O Lord, among the gods? Who is like unto thee? Glorious in holiness, fearful in praises, doing wonders. Thou stretchest out thy right hand, the earth swallowed them. Thou in mercy hast led forth the people which thou hast redeemed. Thou hast girded them with thy strength unto thy holy habitation. The people shall hear and be afraid. Sorrow shall take hold on the inhabitants of Palestina, and the dukes of Edom shall be amazed. The mighty men of Moab, trembling, shall take hold upon them. All the inhabitants of Canaan shall melt away. And we're running a little bit long here, but I want to finish this song. Fear and dread shall fall upon them by the greatness of thine arm. They shall be as still as a stone. Thy people shall pass over, O Lord, till the people pass over, which thou hast purchased. Thou shalt bring them in and plant them in the mountain of thine inheritance, in the place, O Lord, which thou hast made for thee to dwell in the sanctuary, O Lord, which thy hands have established. The Lord shall reign forever and ever, for the house of Pharaoh went in with his chariots and with his horsemen into the sea. And the Lord brought again the waters of the sea upon them. But the children of Israel went on dry land in the midst of the sea. Now, just wanted to illustrate there, the people seem to really have a positive mindset there, do they not? Well, next time on their journey towards Sinai, we'll see how long that enthusiasm holds up and how steadfast they are in their praise of Jehovah. For now, though, let's just say, may the Lord bless this reading of his Holy Scripture, and we will go on with this journey towards Sinai and the giving of the law. Hope to see you then.